All right, let's look at some examples involving hexagons, pentagons, and how to find the perimeter, apothem, and central angle. Tomorrow, when we're actually looking at how to find the area of these regular shapes, we're going to use the perimeter and use the apothem, and we have to use the central angle to find the apothem. And so you're going to need to know how to find all of these individual things tomorrow, and that's why we're working on it today. So that tomorrow, when I say, okay, here's how to find the area, you'll say, well, I already know how to find all these pieces. Now I just need to plug it in. So let's look at the first one here. The perimeter are usually the easiest because that's something we're very familiar with. If this is a regular shape, which it is, we know the perimeter, well, it's just 6 because that's 6 sides times what the sides are. That's 60 centimeters in this case. The central angle is from the center to the two vertices. It's 360 divided by how many sides there are, because all of these are going to be congruent triangles. So it's 360 divided by 6 in this case, and my answer is 60 degrees. And then finally, we need to be able to find the actual apothem. And the apothem is right there. I do not know what the apothem is. I gotta find the apothem, and I actually have enough information in order to find the apothem. I would like you to, and my suggestion is to do so. I can't make you do anything when I'm in a completely different building as you or a completely different house as you. But my suggestion is to draw this triangle out nice and big so we can like add things to it and mark it all up, and you're not like trying to fit in things into this smaller triangle. So I am looking for that length, or that height in this case. I know that it's 90 degrees, so I know that it creates these two 90-degree triangles. I also know that half of that triangle, well, the whole thing is 10, so this right here is 5. And I also know what this angle measurement is here, because if the whole thing's 60, because these are all the same, if the whole thing's 60, this is actually 30 degrees. So I have a triangle right here. I'm going to use this color just to kind of shade it in here. I have a 30, 60, 90 triangle. I could use 30, 60, 90 triangle properties, but I try to avoid that whenever possible because I like trig. I think it's easy. I can plug it in. So I know the angle that's given to me. I know the opposite, and I am looking for the adjacent. So which trig ratio am I going to use? Tangent uses opposite and adjacent. So let me plug in what I know. I'm going to use the angle that's given. The opposite side is given, and the adjacent is what I'm looking for. There are so many ways to solve this. I'll give you a second to solve it however you'd like. You can cross multiply both sides by x, and either way you'll end up with x is equal to 5 divided by tangent of 30. And at that point, you just plug it in your calculator, and you're going to get 8.66 centimeters. At that point, you're done with the problem for today. Tomorrow, you're going to use the perimeter and use the apothem to actually find the area. But for now, you're done there. Let's try this pentagon down here. So very, very similar process. Let's just do it all over again. The perimeter is probably the easiest because we've known how to do this for a while. There's 5 sides. I know each side is 6, so my perimeter is 30 centimeters. The angle, again, might be new information, but it's not a very difficult task. I know that all of the angles, all the central angles add up to 360, and so this angle right here is 360 divided by 5, which is 72. And lastly, the apothem, and I'm going to do something similar as what I did up here. I'm going to draw my apothem, that's what I'm looking for. I'm going to make this big triangle, and I'm going to draw it down here so that I can mark it all up. This is the apothem. Here is my 90-degree angle. I know if this whole thing is 6 over here, then half of it is 3. I also know that this angle right here is 72 divided by 2. So that's 36 degrees. And in this case, you're just setting up your trig ratio. You're setting it up however you would. So in this case, I'm given 36. I know my opposite, and I'm looking for my adjacent. And I'm going to tell you right now, you'll always be using tangent anyway. If I give you your perimeter, you'll always be using tangent. So tangent of 36 is equal to opposite over adjacent. Adjacent is what I'm looking for. I did plug in an x there, but I could have plugged in an a. You can cross multiply, you can multiply both sides by x, however you want to solve this, and you will eventually get to this point right here. You're going to plug that in your calculator, and you are going to get 4.13 centimeters. Sorry, I needed to plug that in my calculator and I didn't have it written down. Centimeters. Your apothem, your perimeter, you're eventually going to plug those in and find the area tomorrow.